Hi, everybody. Welcome. We have been really swamped here, and it has been really tough trying to find the energy to make videos. And we really do apologize for not being as consistent as we have been in the past. But you'll have to give us a little bit of time as we kind of get used to our new schedule. A lot has changed in the last month, and we wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what's been going on and why we decided to make these big changes.
We probably both have our own separate reasons of why RV life wasn't working for us anymore and why we wanted more space.
When I first started this, I didn't know anything about RVs. I knew I was a mechanic, I knew I was pretty handy, and I knew that the more money I spent on an RV, the better RV we were going to get, And I also knew that what we were trying to do, living in a colder climate with an RV, isn't something that a lot of people try. Most people travel down south and go to Quartzsite and just be more nomadic with their RV. But one of the problems that we had going into RV life is that our businesses weren't really set up for travel. We both work full time for ourselves. I run a mechanic business.
And I sell online. I sell vintage and I sell jewelry that I make on multiple platforms online, which means I have a lot of inventory.
So what that meant is that in getting this RV, we had to find places that were close enough to satellite for her to still be able to work so that we could pay our bills. The economy in the last couple of years has not been beneficial to people like us. There has to be a lot of time and energy into making money to afford any lifestyle, and this lifestyle is no different. One of the reasons that we chose to move into an RV is because we had a Doberman, and we work for ourselves and don't have a lot of work history, and getting into a place after you've been renting from a private property owner for over a decade, it's pretty daunting, and we had a little bit of a nest egg, and I couldn't see spending all of the money we had saved up throughout COVID and even before on just a one-bedroom apartment.
Even if we could find an apartment that accepted Dobermans, which there weren't any available that we had when we were at the time we were looking there. We couldn't find anything. And we really didn't want to live in apartments.
No. But making the transition into an RV wasn't easy. And I definitely had to sell Adriana a little bit. It wasn't completely sold up until the point where I just showed up with an RV one day.
Yeah, he had mentioned getting it, but didn't really tell me that it was actually happening.
Yeah.
Until you texted me and said, guess what?
The reasons that we moved into an RV, were because we were getting pushed out of our house, and we were having trouble finding a place with our work history and our dog that would allow us to get into a place effectively. In the last 2 years, a lot of things have changed. The biggest one being that we lost our dog this last summer. Belle passed away in August, and that was probably, honestly, one of the biggest reasons we were doing this, is that we wanted to make sure that she always had a safe place, at least for me. With all of the struggles of just trying to find places close enough for her office.
I had a pretty large office. After moving out of our house, I had been in the same house for about a decade, and I have a lot of stuff. I inherited a lot from my mom, and that included stuff from her parents. She was an antique dealer, and he had amazing things as well. Anyway, I had a lot of stuff, and we packed it all into I think it was a double office technically, but it left me with little space to work. I did manage to get a lot of work done when we were parked at a mooch docking location. It was about 30 minutes away from my office, so that was like the ideal place. But then we were in a couple other mooch docking locations, and commuting back and forth just wasn't realistic. So that meant I wasn't going as often. I wasn't making money then. And it just wasn't practical. Last winter, I did pack up enough stuff so I could do some live shows and try to sell from the RV. And setting up in the kitchen and tearing down every night was a chore. And then there just wasn't enough space for that stuff. It also meant that I couldn't really spread out and make jewelry either, because that takes up a lot of space. Then there's the shipping supplies, the printing labels, all those things just didn't really, we made it work a little bit, but so that for me was a struggle.
Honestly, we thought we were going to be in the RV for 2 or 3 more years. We really did. We were planning on being on the RV for at least that long. What happened at the end of the summer is what I like to call just a beautiful accident, just a chance of extreme luck. I have people that are really close to me. They understand that the world isn't what it used to be 5 years ago. And I think we as a community kind of came together and decided that it was time for us to maybe find a space big enough for all of our families to be closer. And I didn't think that anything was going to come of us just searching Zillow and finding a property. And you guys might remember the video that we posted more than a few months ago when we just kind of did a walkthrough of a place. We had no idea, no hope. You know, we weren't planning, even when we were walking through this, that this was going to be ours. Because we knew it was next to impossible. And like,
it was a dream.
Yeah.
It was like, it would be great, but...
Yeah, that's literally how we felt when we were walking through here.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, I get a phone call of my brother telling me that he put a bid on it. Then, you know, it just became something that we didn't want to talk about because we were afraid of it falling through or something changing, that we wouldn't be able to, you know, come through on what we wanted. But then this has been real for over a month now. I think we're pretty convinced that it's not going anywhere.
It's crazy that it's been a month.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely looks very lived in, like we've been here for a month, but it's surreal. Like we're so lucky.
Completely unexpected. We understand that you guys probably have more than a few questions from us, and we've actually gotten a few in our comment section. We thought it'd be a good idea to make a video to just kind of explain why we're doing what we're doing, share a little bit more about what happened and where we're going from here. See, one of the first questions that we got, and I think we've gotten this more than a couple times, is, are you selling your RV?
Hell no. No, we're not selling Artemis. She means a lot to us. She was our home.
Mm-hmm.
And what you created with Artemis, the battery build, I mean, there's a million, not a million. There's a lot of videos that you can go back and look to see what Stephen did to that. And it's an important piece, especially for...
What we're doing here, anything where ever happened with the power here, if the power ever went out for...
Right.
Yeah, we just plug in our RV and we could run the heaters in the fridge for, 2.5, 3 weeks.
So no, we're not selling her. Yes, we're keeping her. We do think that she makes a great guest house. Mm-hmm. She's parked right outside. But now she can also be used as a recreational vehicle.
Yeah.
And we haven't made any definite plans, but we do want to take her on some trips.
Yes. And she's going to need a little bit of TLC too. I mean, 2 years full-timing in an RV is hard on them. They're not meant to do it.
2 years plus Minnesota winters.
Yes. So there's a fair share of RV projects that you guys are going to get to see us do, like rebuilding the doors and maybe even changing the couch around and the chairs in there. And some of the floor definitely needs to be replaced.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be fun to take you guys on that journey and show you what we can do with it when it is not our main source of like living.
I talked about my business, but also your business.
Yeah. I shut down my business in late 2020, 2021, I guess. I work a lot for myself and I work a lot by word of mouth. And I also, for over a decade, would just post like an ad in Craigslist. And that's how I made a living. In 2020, a lot of things changed with the world and I didn't feel safe doing what I was doing. And so I stopped and I found other ways to make a living. Basically, when I bought that RV, I had to stop doing almost everything anyway, because I was so busy working on that thing and replacing, like Audrey said, every system on there and making it as custom as it is for all of us to live in there. And with all the amenities of a house, I wasn't able to work for anybody else at all. And I passed up so much money and I lost so much money in the last couple of years because of that thing. And my friend who was letting me borrow his driveway, that's room that I could have been using to work on a car and do other projects and take other work in and do other things. I didn't have the space. And one of the problems that I've always had living in the Twin Cities is I've just never had enough space for what I need to do. And I've always just improvised because it just has given me the freedom to do comedy and live the life that I wanted to live. As much fun as it was living in the RV and as much of an experience as it was definitely hurting our pocketbooks a lot, both and like what it took to build that thing and the money that we both lost every month, just trying to make everything work. That coupled with Bella's passing, when this opportunity came up, like there was no way we were going to say no. There was no way we were going to say no to this. What we have here?
No, this place has the space. It has everything that you and I both need for our businesses.
Plus everything. And
Plus, it's a beautiful piece of land.
we can't wait to show you guys more because it's literal heaven here.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful, and our channel is going to feature a lot of just our day-to-day lives here, and we'll talk more about that some more in the video.
I have space here for my office, so I'll
Mm-hmm.
continue doing that. And I Etsy, eBay, whatnot. I do all those things, and I have the space for it. Plus storage space that's separate from my workspace, so that's really great. And
Yes.
then for your business.
My business has just kind of opened up to everything. You know, like I now have more space than I've ever dreamed of. I can work on everything from small engines like chainsaws and lawnmowers and snow blowers, all the way up to big giant 18-wheelers. You know, the sky's the limit. I have a lot of opportunities here, and a lot of what this property needs is just a carekeeper or caregiver, I guess. And so I have a lot of responsibilities here too. A lot of what I'm doing is technically just kind of taking care of this place. It can be a full-time job in some aspects, especially during the winter.
It's been
Yeah.
a full-time job for the month we've been here. You've been
So
constantly going.
I think we're both starting a bunch of new businesses. You know, like I've inherited 5 chainsaws in the last 2 weeks, and some of them run and some of them don't. And I know that once I get these ones running and sold, more will probably be brought to me. In a couple months, I'll have a small engine business going. I have family cars to work on. I have all kinds of stuff to do, and I'm going to record all of it. So again, this is some stuff that you can probably look forward to seeing on the channel is more mechanic builds.
One of the questions we're asked is if we were concerned about rent prices, rent increases. I know it was a thing living in a house that our rent increased a few times.
Mm-hmm. One of the reasons we had to move out is because we weren't willing to pay the what he wanted to charge.
We weren't willing to pay that much in rent to live in an apartment either.
Mm-hmm. This place is actually a family property. We weren't going to rent a place at all. We were looking to buy in the next couple of years, and we were both working on our credit and saving up money while we were living in an RV. And one of the only reasons that we moved in here is because part of what I do sort of helps with the rent around here. You know, we're in a situation now where we're paying pretty much exactly what we wanted to pay back when we were living in the cities in a house. The only difference is instead of living right on top of people with no room to do anything, now I have the room to do everything. And it does come with a lot of responsibilities. Like I said, especially in the wintertime. We moved in here in a situation where we didn't have any fuel for winter heat. And living in Minnesota, that's could be a life-threatening situation. And so I've been working 100 hours a week for the last month, just to make sure that the house here has all kinds of wood and fuel to get us through the wintertime. And a lot of people will be like, that's crazy. Why would you do that for your landlord? Well, when your landlord is family and he's a brother to you, then it sort of all works out. And I think that we have a good plan in place for this place, and that we are in a position to thrive. And also, when it's family, there's communication. You know, like he's not just going to come and jack my rent up because he wants to make more money. You know, then I'd have to bill him more for the work I do. So it's like it's like one of those like relationships where we both need each other for certain things, and both are beneficial for each other. So it just works out. We're probably not ever going to have to see any rent increases here, and if I keep working as hard as I am working right now, I think our rent is only going to go down. Another question that we've gotten from one of our biggest fans, Alex, is are we renaming our channel?
No, we're going to keep it RVTV MPLS, which is for Minneapolis. We are not in the city anymore.
Yeah.
But it's like you said to him, it's our roots. We started this channel living full-time in an RV, and we are still going to feature RV projects. We are still going to be possibly doing trips in the RV.
And working on other people's RVs, you know, like I've gotten pretty handy at building off-grid systems for RVs and doing other renovation projects to them. So I'm assuming that eventually, if you build it, they will come. And I know that I will have a word-of-mouth business within 5 years where I'm doing like really cool like off-grid projects. And really unique stuff, because I have a lot of neat ideas for how to build systems that are different than everybody else. And I think that I make really efficient systems on a budget that can compete with other people that spend a lot more money on their rigs than we do.
Plus, we've also discussed possibly getting a smaller RV in the future. or road trips, and maybe even like building out
Just schoolie.
a schoolie, maybe, or
I want to do a
there's just
schoolie.
possibilities.
Yeah, you never know.
We still want RVs in our life.
Yep. And I guess this kind of leads into our next question, which is like, what are our plans here and our future content? A lot. You guys are going to be seeing a smorgasbord of everything that we've been doing before. You know, you're going to see more car content. You're probably going to see more Forza content if I ever get time to game again.
Well, car content, that's the thing now. You have a garage, a shop to work out of, and you're going to be working on, like you mentioned before, everything from chainsaws to big rigs. So
the off-grid systems to record it all.
We'll record it all and try to share everything that we do around here. We are on land, so there's going to be a lot of upkeep and all kinds of projects to do around here.
And eventually I'd like to take our channel direction with this homestead and pull us completely off grid, and I want to show you guys the process of what it would take to get a system in place that not only runs for very little cost or minimal cost, but is extremely efficient. We have a lot of plans for what we want to bring you guys. The only problem is finding the ambition to do it all.
We're pretty good about recording it. It's finding time to putting it together, because usually Stephen does all the editing. But at the end of the day, we're tired.
I'm not spring chickens anymore, and
we keep saying that we waited too long to do this. We're old now.
Yeah. But as things normalize and we start to get routines here, we'll start to develop healthy working habits, because this isn't something that we're just walking away from. This is something that we love doing and something that I think is always going to be a part of our lives. This is a creative outlet for both of us.
It's been a little inconsistent.
Yeah.
But
we're getting better.
We're going to get back into it because, we both like doing it.
So be patient with us. Any final thoughts?
I'm excited to get into that routine and a regular schedule and have all these projects, because it's pretty much limitless.
Yeah.
Like, we have so many possibilities here. And
amazing potential.
Yeah. I'm excited to share it with you.
Thank you for watching our videos. We've made a bunch of playlists. If you want to go check us out, because you're your first time here and you managed to watch this long, hi.
Thank you.
If you did do that, then please, by all means, subscribe to us. Hit that like button. We're still trying to get to an average of 50 likes a video, and you just doing that simple thing really does help us. So if you did like this video at all, if you found any of this useful, if you thought we were silly or laughed at us maybe a little bit, just give us a hand. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up.
Were we too serious in this video?
Maybe. I'll cut it out. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.